Good evening, Brevard County and beyond. Good evening. Welcome to our lively show. We're going to call this Rally the Vote. We're trying to get you out to the polls. We have some exciting news in Brevard County right now. If you can see my screen, we are totaling 43% of the votes right now in Brevard County. Early voting, early voting. This is astonishing. I mean, this is really wild. And I'm going to add some guests to the platform. And these are individuals who have agreed to join me tonight. And there's hopefully there should be more coming. Um, so if you're a candidate running for office and you didn't get the invitation, let me know. You can drop a link in a comment, and I will send you the link so you can join me. But but there should be more coming tonight to join me for this live show. And we're celebrating that we are at 43.83%. Let me put on my glasses, Miss Maggie. What do you think? I need my glasses. This
It's
is
amazing.
unbelievable. It's unbelievable, right?
Look.
43. There you go.
I feel
43.
left out. I don't have my glasses. I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
It's more
43.
than we hit in the primary. It's amazing. More
It
people
is
have shown up
amazing.
just for this than the entire primary.
Yep. So Brevard County has 443,000 eligible voters, and the unofficial voter turnout as of today is 194,204. Um,
It's amazing.
this is amazing.
Mhm.
Brevard, you're voting.
Good
I
job.
don't care who you vote for, but you're voting, and that's what counts. That's what counts. We're doing the thing. We're doing it, and we're doing it good.
Well,
So
everybody I meet, Kevin, I tell them you cannot effectuate change if you do not show up to vote.
exactly.
Obviously, we would all love your vote, but you cannot effectuate change if you don't show up to vote. So good job, Brevard County.
Very good. So I wanna encourage you to get out there. If you haven't done so already, if you haven't bring out your family yet to vote, um, go out there and vote. So we're gonna bring on hopefully the others join. Um, I think we're supposed to have about two more individuals that's going to be joining us tonight. Um, to that accepted the invitation to basically help rally the vote, right? So Miss Maggie, she is running for um, county court judge, and my goal tonight is to give everyone equal time as they come on the platform. So give you I need another spiel about why you're running for the office that you're running for, and to pretty much invite folks to show up at the polls for those who have not done so yet. And then, audience, how I want your participation is tell us, besides national politics, don't let's not go there. Let's tell us locally who you're encouraging or who you want to see in whatever office locally in Brevard County. That's all I want to see, and that's what I'll bring up on the screen. Okay. So during this broadcast, you tell us who you're voting for, who you're encouraging, who you want to see. What are some of the changes you want to see in Brevard County? Let us know. Just drop us a comment in the comment box, and I'll bring that up on the screen as we go throughout the night. Okay. So let's do that. Okay. So Mr. Backer, hold on one second. Mr. Backus, you there? You getting through? Okay, he's having some issues. I have one other candidate that is trying to get on the platform too as well. So let's get it going. And so I'm going to remove this from the screen now that we know what's going on. And let's say ladies go first. So let's get Miss Maggie going. And Vinny, do you want to stay on the screen too as well? We can have a dialogue. And I'm going to play some background music. And Miss Maggie, go. Let's get it started. Um, let's tell us about your candidacy. Remind
Yeah.
the voters why you're running, and what office are you running for.
Yeah, so I'm running for Brevard County Judge. For those of you who don't know, there's two different kinds of judges here. There's county judge and there's circuit judge. The county judge a lot of times is referred to as the people's It's the judge that handles a slew of different issues, but that's the one that most of the public's going to come into contact with on a regular basis. It handles all of your misdemeanors, it handles a lot of small claims issues, some of your uncontested divorces, and some other issues. But I decided to run for this position because I'm from this county. I was raised in Brevard County. My family's been here since 1955. All of my family, I was one of 10 cousins, and my mother was one of 4 children, and they all went to Eau Gallie High School. I was the only one that went to Melbourne High School because I happened to be just a little bit north of Crane Creek. So this town is really kind of in my blood. We've always been here. My family has started small businesses here. I have nothing but love for this county. And even though it's grown, and it's grown to something that necessarily we wouldn't recognize when I was younger, it's all been for the better. And for me, all I want to do is add to this county, and to obviously the best way for me to do that is to continue in service. So for me, I went to high school here. I went to FSU, go Noles, and then I went to Stetson University College of Law over in St. Petersburg. But I knew at the end of it, all I wanted to do was come home and raise my family here, because I grew up with a wonderful childhood. You know, I had it to where we could kind of run around, we could have a good time, we could have family, we could have friends. The community was still a small community. It was still tight knit. You know, we could find our way around. It wasn't anything like too bad. And so what better place to raise your children and start a business and start a life than here? So we came back here. I was a public defender, assistant public defender for 6 years, which is, for those of you who don't know, assistant public defenders, we have the benefit of serving the indigent. So we serve the community by representing those less fortunate than most that have been charged with criminal offenses. And so a public defender is provided. We go through the whole system. Do they want to have a trial? How do they want to work out their case? And I did that for 6 years, doing mostly serious felony cases. I did some misdemeanor time, but most of that was spent doing burglaries, murder cases, robberies, rapes, and other very serious trafficking offenses. And then after I had done that for 6 years, I decided to open my own small business in Brevard County, and I started a small law firm, which I have been operating successfully for a little over 12 years now. So my family, their small businesses were in excavating. They did home building here in Brevard. Now I have my own small business that I'm running, but I still thought it was important to give back to the community. So I kept a contract with the state to provide services for indigent people through the state. When the public defender's office couldn't represent them, I would represent them. Now I have a contract with Blaise Tredis, who's the public defender. He's the elected public defender. And I have been originally with my law partner and I, we were running 2 of his courtrooms down in misdemeanor court it was about for a year and a half. And now I just have one contract with them. But again, that's providing services to people who are indigent. And a lot of people who come through that system are people who are mentally ill, are veterans, or people who are having hard times. And it's given me the opportunity now, doing this in county court for the last year and a half, to really kind of see people and have even more contact with the people in Brevard County and the citizens of Brevard County. And people who come through the court system, you know, sometimes they're innocent, sometimes they've made mistakes, sometimes they're just having hard times, or they have mental health issues. And it's kind of our job through the public defender's office to help people get through that process and, you know, get back out there and be successful citizens and members of the community. So I'm very happy to be a part of that. All I've done my entire career is run trial dockets, which is really what county judges do. County judges are tasked with getting thousands of people through the system, whether it's in civil court or whether it's in criminal court. And I've been lucky enough in private practice to also do family law, do some small claims court. So I have a little bit of everything as far as the experience goes. And I've also been lucky enough to have been asked by our local Florida Department of Law Enforcement to come over and train over at the local academy, which is now over at Eastern Florida State College, and help train law enforcement officers that are going through the interview and interrogations course, and teach them how important Miranda is in securing a confession, to do it properly, to follow the Constitution, because obviously our job is to follow the Constitution always. So they asked me to do that, and I've been doing that it's been almost 10 years now, if not 10 years. So I'm very blessed to do that and help our local law enforcement officers. So for me, like I said, I've been running these trial dockets. I've been giving back to the community. I've served on boards for Legal Aid, which provides indigent services for people who are less fortunate, who go through the civil system, who need to get a divorce or have landlord-tenant issues. I've served as an attorney ad litem for children who have been abused and are going through the system and need an attorney. Obviously, children can't provide their own attorney, but they need one. So I've been blessed to be able to do that as well. So for me, I just want to serve Brevard County. And I feel like I've been doing that my entire career. I've been successful at it. And the next best thing that I can do, obviously, for my community and the children that I'm raising in this community and the business that I have, is to become a Brevard County judge so I can better serve our community.
Awesome.
I'm very excited. It's been wonderful.
Awesome. I'm glad you're here tonight to tell the story about why you're running for this candidacy again. And unfortunately, your opponent, Miss Clarissa, wasn't able to join us tonight. She had another event that she had to attend to. So Vinny, your turn. Go ahead. Tell the citizens of Brevard what district you're running for. Yeah, I think you're running for the commissioner seat, right? Seat 5.
I am. Yeah, County Commissioner District 5. And so if you laid an L over the county, that would be the district. Simple, right? Not so simple. Wish it was. But if you live in Indialantic, I got you. If you live in Melbourne Village, I got you. If you live in parts of Melbourne, West Melbourne, or Palm Bay, I might have you. Like to have you. But you'd have to go to my website, vinforthewin.com, click that little My District link, and you can put in your address, and it'll tell you what district you're in. Basically, it's West Palm Bay and Central Melbourne and Central West Melbourne. Yeah, let's go with that. So yeah, that's the District 5. That's what I'm representing, and I am looking to be the county commissioner and represent and serve the people in District 5. And the reason I'm running and the reason I was a little bit late tonight was I was in Cocoa Beach at the community meeting with the Westin, talking about what they wanted to use to Lori Wilson Park. And man, like that whole event was the reason I'm running. People in the community got up and they're like, we just keep feeling like there's tit for tat. And we just feel like, people ask for an inch and they take a mile. And we just learned about this meeting yesterday. So there feels like there's a disconnect between our elected leaders and the community. And as a community leader, I've been blessed and so fortunate to effectuate positive change in our community for the past decade, whether it was building habitat homes for female veterans, whether it was increasing our mental health capability, whether it was working on this beautiful lagoon that I've got behind you. And almost every candidate has a picture of that beautiful lagoon. Yeah, I've been working on that for 8 years. So that's, I've been able to have such a positive impact in the community, just as a community leader. And so I figured, you know what? There are ways to change our the policies and our communities. One of them is to vote. The other one is to run. Yep. And so I said, you know what? Let's run. Let's go and let's see what happens. And so that's me, born and raised here. Went to public school, went to MCC, Maggie, didn't go to Mel High, went to MCC, but went to Creel Elementary, Hoover, and then MCC. And then I went to that other state school, Maggie. Oh. You know which one I'm talking about. That big orange and blue. So yeah, there it is. Yeah, see, that's the chomp. Thank you for doing the chomp for me. I'm glad you did that. And then worked at UF in the IT department, created an IT department, bought a home there, still have a home there, loved the city. And then came back when the recession hit, when the family business was in trouble. And so we own and operate retirement communities. And so I've been doing that since I've been back here. Obviously, my IT experience let me serve our community as the Chief Information Officer for the State Attorney's Office, which is usually on the other side of the aisle, Maggie, from the Public Defender's Office. But it's all about justice, right? We're all about bringing justice.
The wheels working together.
That's it. That's it. That's how it works. So I was fortunate to work for the state attorney's office as the chief information officer for 2.5 years, writing their IT ship. And then I have a film production company too, where we've made some commercials and an ad or a couple ads, but we made a Doritos ad that won the Crash the Super Bowl competition. So that was a lot of fun. And then Doritos aired it. So really, really big believer in communication and talking to people and also listening. A good friend of mine says, respect the ratio, Kevin. How many ears you got, Kevin? How many ears?
Say that question again. I'm sorry.
Don't worry. That's all right. How many ears do you have, Kevin? How many ears are on your head? Two ears. Yeah, 2 ears, 1 mouth, right?
Yeah.
So a friend of mine said, respect the ratio. Listen just as much as you talk, or listen twice as much. And that's part of that communication, is listening and knowing your community. So,
and we want to welcome Jimmy Backus to the platform. Jimmy, you're live on the air, and Moore is joining us. I just got off the phone with another candidate who's going to be joining us in another 15 minutes. So yeah, keep going, Vinny.
I was just going to say, and that's it. That's why I'm here. I'm here to serve.
Okay, so how did that meeting go in Cocoa, Vinny? Did they seem welcoming to the audience?
Kevin,
to the residents?
I mean, props for having an event, but you have an event after your contract gets denied. I mean, that you got to find a way to work with the community. But they had a ballroom with probably about 100 chairs. About 250 people showed up. I mean, wow. It was standing room only. Okay. So kudos to them for showing up or for hosting it. But I just don't think they get the community yet. But hopefully they will.
Right. Oh, Jimmy, just so you know, you logged in 2 times, so maybe that's why you're getting us back some feedback. But Jimmy Backus is here, and Jimmy, remind the residents what seat you're running for again. Palm Bay City Council seat 5. Am I right?
Yeah, I am. Thanks, Vinny, also for letting him know.
I got you, Jimmy. I'm here to serve you too, man. I got you. I
appreciate that. Yeah, I'm running for. Let me turn this off in a minute. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you having some feedback there.
By the way, Kevin, one of my favorite movies is Goodfellas, and there's a guy on there named Jimmy 2 times, and you literally just said Jimmy's logged in twice, so it's Jimmy 2 times. We're gonna call him Jimmy 2 times from now on. I think he just got a nickname.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, what Vinny had said is really important, though, and I'm glad he brought it up. It is all about everybody working together. And usually when you look at like the judicial system, a lot of times people look at that dichotomy and they see, especially the state versus defense, and they think it's everybody working against each other. But, for me and for a lot of people that I know and that I work with, we realize that we are all kind of cogs in the same machine. We're all wheels in the same machine that are spinning. And if we don't work together, the whole machine breaks down. Right. And obviously, for me, the judicial system, very important. And it's very important to a lot of other people. And our systems, governmental systems, won't work if we don't all work together. So, I think it's wonderful. I'm glad, like I said, Vinny brought that up, and all working together. It's not us versus them. It's never us versus them. And if it is, then the whole system breaks down. So as long as we keep those lines of communication open, like Vinny said, listening, not always speaking and not always, having to be right and be heard, but actually listening. That's really what makes the whole system work. So.
Yeah, and it's not just about it working. It's about it working as effectively as it can, which Maggie,
Yes.
like sometimes you go into that courtroom and the judge is like, what do you want? What do you want to do? And you've got to have a rapport with the other side. That's what makes it work the best for the community. And, I've got a saying, like, I don't really have fear. I'm not really afraid of much, but I am afraid of being ineffective. That's a fear I have.
Well, and it affects so many people, especially like, obviously my perspective is from the judiciary, but we're dealing with people every day. Their lives are on the line. And I'm not just talking about in a criminal system, but even in a civil system. You have people that are waiting on, potentially if they're in a dispute with their roofing company, or there was a hailstorm and they're in a dispute with their insurance company, or they're in a dispute with their landlord and they're waiting on resolution for their case, or to get divorced and they need that signature for finality, whatever it is. Those people cannot move on with their lives. They cannot have finality. And if we're not effective, then we're not serving the public and we're not serving the people. So we need to be as effective as possible, which, like I said, it's so important to have for the judiciary, that experience in knowing how to move dockets, how to work well with other people and communicate well with other people. So that makes sure that we're efficient for our community, so people can move on with their lives and, get justice or get a resolution one way or another.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Sorry, I'm feeling calls from.
No, you're good, man. You want me to take over? So,
Yeah,
Jimmy,
yeah.
Mr. Bacchus, go ahead. Hit us up. Tell us a little bit about who.
Go ahead,
Tell you
go ahead,
your
Vinny.
name and tell us what you're running for and what. Kevin, I got you, man. I ain't got the looks, but I got the voice. Let's do this. Jimmy, tell us what's going on.
I'm running mainly because the citizens really want some change. They want to make sure they have their voice being heard.
Remind the citizens what seat you're running for, and I believe City of Palm Bay, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm running for seat 5, Palm Bay, and as I was saying, yes, I truly believe the citizens right here, right now, want to make some change. They want to make sure that their voice is being heard. It's important that Palm Bay grows, and it's going to grow. But most of the citizens, they want smart growth. They don't want to be hit with any new taxes, and I just feel that that's very, very important, because I myself live in Palm Bay. I've been here for quite a bit of years. I've served on the advisory board, the DRC, and the audit board, which just gave me some experience in the fact of what direction the city would like to be moved in. I remember the city wanted to be a bed and breakfast state, but unfortunately it's not going to happen. Palm Bay is growing, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing that Palm Bay is growing, but we want to make sure that Palm Bay grows in smart growth. It's not just building here, building there, holding contractors responsible, developers responsible, not just leaving a mess on the side of the road, starting things and not finishing them. And I think that's a major concern that I have, along with the citizens, and also to make sure that the elders are not being overtaxed and overburdened with new taxes and new increase.
Okay, so Jimmy, when I interviewed you about a month ago, we got some technical issues, and the residents weren't able to see you, so now they know what you look like.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, so now they know who Jimmy Bacchus is, and this is not your first rodeo. You have run for this office or office similar in the past, right?
I did run in 2022. I didn't win. But I still did, like I said, I served on the advisory board and the DRC to get a closer approach of understanding what's taking place in the city. And that's very important to me. Most of them have already read my dais. I worked at Publix 27 years as a manager, store manager for 27 years, as I said before. But I worked in $1 million stores. I worked for GlaxoSmithKline as a account rep, a pharmaceutical company, and right now I'm working for the federal government. So my degree is in accounting and management, and I truly feel that I have the experience, I have the knowledge of leadership. I've hired many people. I've promoted many people as well, and having that role of leadership has been a major bridge for me.
Right. Awesome. And so residents of Brevard County, if you're wondering what's happening tonight, we're having this little segment called Rally the Vote. We're trying to get voters out to the polls. We know a lot of you already voted, and it's showing out because 43%, we were at the top of the hour, we were saying 43% of you have voted already, which is amazing for Brevard
Kevin,
County.
I think we should change it from rally the vote to thank you for voting. I mean, we don't need to rally them, man. They're doing it.
They're already out.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
Let's keep going. Let's keep making it happen. Let's keep doing the darn thing, and don't stop. We can, like Miss Maggie said, affect change this way. I mean, whoever you're voting for, I don't care. I just want to see folks voting. You know,
Yeah,
as a veteran, I can say that's one of the privileges I gave you me and other veterans is giving you the right to vote. Is making sure that that is instilled in our Constitution. Everybody has a right to go out there and vote, no matter who you're voting for,
It's
right?
honoring sacrifice, and it's
Yeah.
their power.
Yeah.
Citizens' power is their vote.
Yeah.
It's their
And
power.
yeah,
And
I
past
agree with that.
sacrifice, honor it every day,
Yeah.
and especially during elections.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I've met so many people who did not vote but had registered just to vote in this election.
Wow.
A
Oh,
lot
that's
of people
amazing.
coming out and voting,
They
and
not
not
vote before in the past, but they're voting just for this. They registered just for this election to get vote to get
yeah.
this. Oh wow, that's
And
good.
I'll put it this way, it's not just the presidential election. It's actually the city and the county election too.
Okay.
Well,
So
yeah, but I think we were talking about before is like for the primary, I was
Yeah.
talking about our judicial numbers. I think 125,000 people showed up to vote for the primary, but for the judiciary, only 95,000 people voted for a judge, which for judges, just so everybody knows, we're nonpartisan. So we don't pop up under an R or under a D. So it takes a little bit more effort for people to get out there and educate themselves. So I'm so glad Palm Bay Live, Kevin, thank you so much for
Yeah,
providing us this opportunity. But you do, as a voter, I know it's a national election, but you got to go out and educate yourselves about your city council members, your county commissioners, your
Right.
state representatives, your school board, your local judges. It's going to take a little bit more work, but we got websites out there. We've got this kind of event. It's wonderful. Go out there. Don't show up and not vote. Show
Yeah,
up
Up and down
educate
that
yourself and vote for
ballot.
everything.
Yeah,
Up and
yeah.
down, up and
That's
down the
what I
ballot.
always hear from. I know, voting. The process is always. I don't know who these judges are. Why am I
Yes.
voting for them? I never met them. I never see them. And when I started this program, that was one of my pet peeve. I have to get in contact, and I was able to get in contact with a lady who has been my inspiration. She has guided me in how to get in contact with these judges, and that has led me to this pathway of getting in touch with Maggie and all the others, Miss Clarissa, over the years, to get them on the platform to make sure the voters know who they are and why they're running.
And it's so important too, because so many people I meet, they're like, "Oh, I hope I never see you. I hope I never show up in your courtroom." But
Yeah.
like it or not, I know, like it or
It's
not,
not so bad, Maggie. It's not so bad.
like,
What places to
like
end
it or
up?
not,
Worst
it
places.
might happen. So that's what I try to tell people about county court is it's so many cases, and it covers, civil, and it covers criminal, whether you like it or not. If you're in a fender bender and you're not going for like these big ticket items, for these big collections, you're going to end up in small claims court. Or if you have roof damage, or you can't get your money back from your landlord, or God forbid you end up in misdemeanor court, somebody's taken something from you, whatever it is, a petty theft, trespass, DUI, driving on a suspended license. Sometimes it happens and you may not know, and you end up in county court, and there you are, and you see my bright smiling face, God willing. But it happens, and it's very important that you pick judges that have that dedication, that commitment, and that experience to know how to get you through the system, as effectively and fairly as possible. So
Or you
whether
might
you like
show
it
up
or
there as a
not, you might
juror.
be here.
Yeah, they might show up there as a juror too, right, Miss Maggie?
Yes. It's so wonderful. And you were talking about services that our country asks of us. And thank God we have the right to vote, and people have, fought and died for that right. But one of the things I always tell people in jury selection is your government only calls upon you to do certain things. 1, pay taxes. 2 is jury service. So it's hard. And, the fact that people show up and take time out of their day to do that and serve as jurors is so commendable. And I wish we could compensate them more, because the service that they provide is, obviously fundamental and in our Constitution, and it's important for every person that comes through the judicial system. So, and sometimes military service, obviously, but, thank God for juries. And if you ever show up on one, I love jury selection. It's one of my favorite things to do because I love to get to know people. It's kind of like being out on the campaign trail. You get to meet people, find out about them, find out about their likes, their dislikes, You know, what do you want to know? How do you feel? So I love it. I think it's great. And that's one of the wonderful things about campaigning that I have found so far is getting out there and meeting as many people in the community as possible. And so they can educate themselves. And so I can educate myself about what constituents are looking for, how they think the system is working, how they think it's broke down, things that they would like to see. You know, how can I help? There's a lot of things as a judge I can't commit to, but what I can commit to is that I'm going to do my best. And I'm going to show up every day and I'm going to work as hard as possible. And I'm here for things like this. I want to hear from the community. You know, like I said, God willing that I become a judge and I'm sitting on the bench, I still want to communicate with people out in the community. I still want to be able to be out there and be talking, you know, to junior high school classes and high school classes and doing mock trial and participating in my community, because that's why I'm running, is to make this community better. And if I don't provide a platform for people to talk to me and air their grievances and tell me what they, you know, what they would like to see, so I can at least listen. If I can't help, then obviously I'm going to try to steer them in a direction that can. But that's kind of my job, is to not lose track of my roots and where I came from and why I'm running in the first place.
Don't forget, audience, if you have a question for any of these candidates, you can drop it in the comments and I'll bring it on the screen in case you didn't get to meet them during our initial set of interviews that we had earlier in the month. So we're still waiting on one other candidate to join us. But in the meantime, let's see what else can we talk about?
Yeah.
I mean,
you know, I just want to say what she's saying. She's right, because in a lot of cases, I've met quite a bit of residents here, citizens here. And even if I can't fix it, I can definitely send them to the people who can take a look at it, can help find out what's going on with a contractor or a developer, which is real good. And it gives me an opportunity to bridge that gap between the community and the those that are on the dais. And that's very important, to let them know that I'm not just simply running. I'm not looking for accolades or titles. This is more of a personal thing to me. I like Palm Bay. I love it here. Like I said before, this is home for me right here. This is it right here. You know, I know the traffic has gotten a little bit hectic.
Say the least.
A little bit.
To say the least.
Well, you know, in certain places, certain times of the day, the traffic is a little bit. But overall, Palm Bay is still a great place to live at.
Yeah,
it's a great place to live at. Great place to bring your family up in.
And you know, when I worked at the state attorney's office, it was my bread and butter. The previous IT situation was not good, and so when I got there, I was the anti-IT guy. I spent zero time in my office. I burned through a brand new pair of shoes in a month because I was going around. I was helping people at their desk, not like, oh, call IT and we'll help you over the phone. There had to be relationships, had to be mended. You had to be built. You had to gain that trust. I did that. And
right.
the best thing of that job, and I'm going to say this, although people in IT departments don't do this unless you're sure it'll work, was toward the end where we got the system redundant and we actually pulled the power cable on a server live in the middle of the day. And I told one of the guys, I said, go ahead, pull that cable. And he's like, I'm not pulling it. I'm like, no, go ahead, pull it. It's good. Go ahead. They're like, no, not doing it. I'm like, we just spent the past 18 months building this thing. It's going to work. Let's do it. Pulled the cable within a millisecond. New system switched over. Nobody even knew. That was a really cool day. That was a really cool day.
Awesome. All right. Well, guys, let's see. I was here waiting for the other candidate. I'm not hearing from him. Hopefully, he will join us in another 5 minutes or so. Let's see. What else can we talk about here? So the voter turnout is huge, like we said. I mean, we're doing things in Brevard County, and I really appreciate everybody going out and vote. And I'm sure the supervisor of elections, Mr. Tim, is happy too as well at the turnout, because I think we were talking earlier, Maggie. I think this is the largest we've seen in a general election by far in a long time, right?
I think it's very impressive.
Yeah.
You know, the Brevard County, you should be extremely proud of yourself that you're taking time out of your day. I was telling Kevin before we started, I'm running all over this county. So just so everyone knows, if you're a resident of Brevard County and you're registered to vote, then you can vote for your county judges. And obviously, I'd love your vote. But people that I've been all the way from Barefoot Bay all the way up to Mims and to Scottsmore. And the early voting locations, there's 10 of them, just so everybody knows. There's 2 in Titusville. There's 2 in Palm Bay. There's 1 in Cocoa. There's 1 in at the Vieira Community Center. There's 1 at Wickham, and there's 1 out in Merritt Island at the Kiwanis Island Community Center. And people are just, when I see them, they're just coming in, and I don't know where they're coming from, and they're coming from all different walks of life, and they're coming at all different times. And I have to say, I'm out there, and I'm hot, and I'm waving. And I should have done what Vinny did, which is get a sign that says, I am Maggie Wagner, because so many people ask me, like, are you Maggie? But I was so inspired by the people that are coming throughout the day. And Lord knows where they're coming from, but they're coming. And it's just inspirational that you've taken the time out of your day. You've stopped, doing what you're doing at work. You're coming on your lunch break. You're coming after work. You're taking a break. You're bringing your children with you, whatever you're doing, and you're coming. And it's amazing. And I'm so proud of everybody.
Awesome. So joining us is Mr. Felix. How you doing, sir?
Doing well. A little bit, beat up, but hey, it's a good fight. It's a good fight.
I hear you, sir.
Time to drink from the fire hose, Donnie. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's
So,
been good.
Donnie, everyone has gotten an opportunity to already do their spiel and talk about their candidacy and why they're running. And we already did your interview. And we did a debate with you. And Yvette, just so the audience know, I did put an invitation out to everybody that's running locally in Brevard County, but only certain people accepted. I did accept. One of the person did accept, but I can't reach them on the phone right now. So I'm not sure what happened. They probably forgot about it. But so, Mr. Felix, everybody introduce themselves. And so reintroduce yourself to the audience. You're sitting on the dais. You're running for this office again. So you're an incumbent. So let's talk. Who are you and why are you doing this?
Thank you, sir. I'll start with this disclaimer. Beside Miss Wagner, the better looking candidate on the panel has finally arrived. What can I say, Kevin? Donnie Felix is a household name. So I don't know what to add, but I can tell you one thing though. It's encouraging when I think Ms. Wagner, you may have touched on that, being on the campaign trail, especially being in those 2 locations in Palm Bay. I have to tell you, last night, I haven't looked at the numbers today. As of last night, over close to 40% turnout. I mean, how encouraging that is
We're at
to
43
see.
now. We're at 43% now.
That is amazing. That is amazing. And I know for sure when people go out and vote, we will do well. We all do well, and the community do well. And because that means the people have spoken, it's not just a small sample of the community that voted, but the people at large are choosing their who they want to represent them, and that's a great democracy, and that's how it should work. That's why I'm not a big fan of special elections where 6,000 people elect for 85,000. So to me, that's not a true sample of the people. But Donnie Felix, I've served for the last 4 years, faithfully with integrity. I have to remind everybody again, I'm probably one of the few candidates or sitting on the dais now that has nobody in my ears. So I listen to the people. I vote my conscience day in, day out. I feel good at night. I sleep well at night. I'm one of the few that I'm not for sale, and I truly represent the people. Go on the dais and do the work of the people and vote to advance our community. Kevin, I'm humbly asking again to vote Donnie Felix for seat 3. Keep me in. I'm sorry, for seat 2. My heart out to my friend Randy Foster in seat 3. Certainly, we missed him. But yeah, keep me in seat 2. I promise to continue to work for you. definitely I will represent you well with integrity and character. Thank you, Kevin.
Yes, sir. No problem. You're welcome. And so, guys, again, thanks for accepting the invitation to join me tonight. And thanks to Maggie and Vinny and Jamie and Donnie for continuing the conversation and tonight and talking about, let's encouraging the residents of Palm Bay and Brevard County in a whole to get out and vote. I don't know who you're going to be voting for, Brevard County. I know election night will be tense. I will be doing a show on election night from 7 o'clock till probably about 8 o'clock to watch the votes come in, trickle in, and for the local elections. And then I'll gather around the TV with my family and watch the national elections results come in until whenever they say whenever that stops.
Oh, we'll go into the next day for sure.
Yeah,
I think we're going to go
you're gonna
until
be sitting with your family for a couple days there, Jimmy.
I think we're
Kevin,
gonna
all
be-
together.
Get
Yeah,
plenty
I
of
think it'll be
popcorn.
Saturday
Plenty of
before we know.
popcorn. And soda.
Definitely be Saturday before we know. I don't think we're gonna know the next day. I think it's gonna be a repeat of what happened in the prior elections, but we'll see.
But
We'll-
Kevin, you'll know your local candidates though. That
Yeah,
I guarantee you by
definitely.
7:30
by
you'll have a good
7:30,
idea.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna start getting to work at 8 o'clock. Once 8 o'clock hits, let's go. Time to get to work.
Yeah.
I hear you. Okay. Quick closing remarks. Let's go around the room. A minute or two. Miss Maggie, ladies first. Go ahead.
Well, thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody being here. I think that really kind of goes to speak to everybody that kind of showed up tonight. And I know certain people have other things going on, and obviously we're in early voting and things happen. But I really, really appreciate the platform, and I really appreciate everyone showing up tonight and kind of wanting to show the community that you really do care. And because that's why I'm here, is because I really care about this community. And I want people to know who I am, what I'm running for, what a judge is. And I want people to get excited about voting. And I want people to get excited about educating themselves. So for me, I have a Facebook page, obviously. My website is www.wagner4judge.com. 4 is spelled out, F-O-R. I encourage everybody to go there to take a look, get informed about me. If you have extra questions, come out to the polls and see me. I'm usually live on Facebook, or, I'm happy to tell you where I'm going to be. I've got a phone number. I'm happy to share that with everybody. I would rather you ask me, and I tell people this all the time, I'd rather you ask me a question, get to know who you're voting for so you feel comfortable, rather than wonder or skip that, little bubble on your ballot. Because like I said, in the primary, we had 125,000 people show up. Only 95,000 people voted for a judicial candidate. So 30,000 people skipped that bubble. So don't skip the bubble. Continue to educate yourself. Continue to get excited about voting. That's why we're here tonight. That's why I'm running, is for everyone to be excited about the possibilities for Brevard County. We have so far to go. We have so many opportunities. For me, I've got the training. I've got the experience. I'm ready to get started, feet on the ground day one, and continue to provide services to the residents of Brevard County. I'm very excited about that. And I hope the rest of Brevard County is too.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Mr. Vinny, go ahead,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yeah, 1,460 days. That's 4 years, Kevin. But since I'm going to start at 8 p.m. the night before, let's just add another day. 1,461 days.
Got you.
That's the count. That's my service. And I know you all see my signs around the county, around the district. First off, I'm sorry. Secondly, my campaign signs let you know about my campaign, but they're also a promise to you. They're a promise. I will be there. I will be in the community. I will lead from the community. I will serve the community from the community. So as Maggie said, as Kevin said before, learn about the candidates, get as educated as you can, and pick the best one. I think I've got the experience. I think I've got the looks. Sorry, Donnie. See, he disappeared when I said looks. I I think I've got the leadership ability to bring our county back up to where it should be in connection with its community. Let's work together on our solutions. It can be solved. It can be taken care of. So remember, Brevard wins with Vin. Go to vinforthewin.com. You can find Donnie. You can't hear me? Is that what's going on? He's tapping his ear. Is that like
he's having a hearing problem?
Oh, I'll repeat it for Donnie if he likes. No, anyway, Brevard wins with Vin. Vinforthewin.com. Check out the website. Again, my information's on there. I've got some great pictures, virtual town halls. Learn about me. Learn about the candidates. And then vote for the one you think is best going to represent you.
Okay, go ahead, Jimmy, while I try to see another solution to get Donnie going.
I'm running for seat 5. I want to say to those who are listening, I have no ties to contractors and developers. So as
I can hear you, Donnie. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Opportunity to speak so that I can advocate the voice for the citizens. That's important to me, to make sure the citizens are being heard, to make sure things are getting done the way the citizens want in Palm Bay. Like I said, I've worked volunteer work as a city for years. It's been great for me, and running for seat 5 is a major thing. Running for seat 5 is a major thing. I'm concerned about the community. I'm concerned about the people that live here, not only those who have been here, but those who are coming here as well, so that we can bridge the gap between the community and those that are on the dais. Vote for me on not just in the previous, but on the 5th, because I know so many voters are going to show out on that last day. And elect Jimmy Backus, and I'll make sure that your voice will be heard greatly.
Okay, Donnie, you're hearing us now?
Yes, it's
Awesome.
much better. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much. Yes, again, thank you for the opportunity to serve the last 4 years. I'd like to continue to serve you for another 4. Certainly, there's things that we took note, we heard you, things that we would tweak a little bit, do a little bit different. As we move forward in the next 4 years, we are promised to continue listening to you and really deliver on your requests. So I make some promises in regards of our infrastructure, that the pressure, the stress on our infrastructure, every aspect of it, to really move forward with looked at things in the perspective of being smart and continue to our growth and like I said, promote more smart growth and really fix and laser focus on our infrastructure deficiencies. Please allow me to continue to serve. A couple of things you'll get with me. You'll get honesty. You'll get character. You'll get really. I'll tell you the truth. Even sometimes that may not what you want to hear, but you can always count on me to tell you the truth. Because if you want to pay me a compliment, I'm not no politician. I'm a public servant, and I want to remain a public servant. Please elect Donnie Felix for seat 2 for another 4 years. I look forward to serving you, to continue serving you. Thank you.
Okay, great candidates. Thank you so much for being here tonight. By way of announcement, for those who are not aware, the city of Palm Bay currently has a boil water notice that's in effect because of a water main break that it had earlier today. So if you live in Unit 44, Port Malabar area, you have a boil water notice that's in effect right now. And so tonight's event was mainly to rally the vote, but like we said, they're already voting. And so that was the premise of the event. When I thought of the idea was to pretty much one last gasp was trying to get individuals out to vote because of what I saw happen in the primaries. And I was afraid that we were going to have a repeat. So I said to myself over the weekend, I think this would be a good idea. Let's bring the candidates back and they do one last lap of trying to get you out to the polls to vote for them. But when we looked up today, me and Miss Maggie was talking before we got started. We said 43%. Wow,
Amazing.
wow, that is amazing, Brevard County. That is amazing. And so you're showing up by the numbers. Thank you so much for voting. Like I said, I don't care who you're voting for, just vote. Just get out there
Yes.
and vote like your life depend on it.
That's right.
So that
And don't let up. Don't let up. We've got
Mhm.
early voting, just so everybody knows, the rest of this week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then on Saturday, it'll be 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So there's still plenty of time.
Yep. Still plenty of time to vote for somebody, whoever that somebody is. Go get out there and vote. I hear that, Mr. Jimmy. Yeah, so whoever that somebody is, get out there and vote. And I will be voting this Saturday.
Kevin, who are you voting for? No, I'm just joking.
Jesus Christ,
You don't have to answer that. Well, I know who you're voting for, Kevin. I'm just joking.
Yeah, I don't endorse candidates. Never do that because I don't want to appear biased because they will come from my head.
It's a booth for one, Kevin. A booth for one, right? Voting booth. Booth for
Yeah,
one.
there you go. But good luck to you guys.
Thank you, Kevin.
Best wishes, Miss Maggie. I hope I don't have to show up in your courtroom only as a juror. Only as a juror.
Well, whether you do or
Then
whether
I'm
you
gonna
show
have
up
to
as a
respect
juror, whether you
myself.
show up as somebody through the door, it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna have to say I already know you, and so therefore I can't serve you as a juror, right?
Oh,
Is that how it
Kevin,
goes?
Kevin, that doesn't work. My first week at the state attorney's office, I got called in and I told the judge, sir, I work for the state. Does that excuse me? And they said, nope. And I said, oh, all right.
Yeah,
Well,
I still get picked for jury duty, and honestly, I really wish that I would. They always kick me out. Nobody ever wants me. I'm like, I would make a good juror. I'm very fair. I'm very impartial. I make a great juror, but no.
no, that's
So
not how it
either
works.
way, show up in front of me. It's going to be a good time.
It's gonna be a good time.
New jury
Okay.
waiting room. It was $5 million in the county budget. So it'll be nice. It'll be nice.
Right, right. Awesome, awesome. Well, I wish all the candidates well, everyone that wanted to appear tonight but somehow didn't make it, and for all those who are running throughout Brevard County, best wishes to you. My prayers are with you on your campaign. Do well. You'll be okay. I mean, just the thought of you sitting there and thought of the idea to let me run to serve my community. That's a big feat. I mean, because you take all the beatings on social media and wherever else you got it from.
Social media, what's that? What's that?
You took all those beatings.
It's not just that. You get out to the polls, it's hot, it's raining, there's mosquitoes, there's all
Out
kinds
to
of
the polls,
stuff.
knocking on doors in the middle of summer in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and to the volunteers that show up for your different campaigns.
Yeah.
That
Amazing.
decided that hey, listen, I want to support my candidate for office. Thanks to you too, because you're part of the process. So thanks to you for showing up and
The
for
family
helping out.
members, Kevin, the family members that put
Yes.
up with us.
Yeah, the family members, everybody that's a part of this this thing. I thank you because you're helping us and you're helping us achieve these results. 43%. Who would have thought it? Brevard County at this early stage. That's amazing. So I don't know where we're going to be at on election night. I'm hoping 100%, but we shall see. We
Yeah.
shall see. And
Well,
but
and
again,
Johnny raises a good thing too, because it is our family that, not just friends, not just volunteers, but, I have two young daughters, one soon to be 16 and one to be 11. And they've asked me like, their lives have been turned upside down and they're going to events and, I'm not always, able to be at every event. So grandma has to go or somebody else. And it's hard for them. But, I explain to them like, look, sometimes you're called to service. And when you're called to service, if that's what you need to do, and if that's what's best for your community, then you show up and you serve. And it's wonderful that we have that support. And it's wonderful, at least for me, that I can provide that lesson to them of, how we can serve our community and how important government, can be to our everyday lives. So thank you, everybody, for showing up and serving.
thank you, volunteers. Thank you, family members. Thanks everyone that's helping this process and making it hopefully a successful one. Right now, it is a successful one based on the numbers, and hopefully on election night we can be at 100%. But we shall see.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. We shall see. But thanks, Brevard. Thanks for being a part of this process. I've been interviewing candidates now since summer, and you have been here with us, helping us achieve our goals. And thanks for watching my programs. Thanks for keeping me motivated. Thanks for the different emails telling me to keep going. Even sometimes I think of quitting because of the different, behind the scenes stuff that happens. But anyways, thank you. And I'll keep this going. So join me on election night to review the results. One of these candidates, if hopefully all of them, are going to get elected to a seat. Somewhere. So
somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's here in the county.
Because we all do running for different candidates, different offices. So somewhere. So one's for county commission. The other one is for a judge, Group 6, right, Miss Maggie?
Yeah, Group 6.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Mr. Felix is going to be running for C2, and Mr. Backus is running for seat 5. And again, some other candidates were supposed to come tonight, but something may have happened while they're not here. But anyways, we're here. This is it, Palm Bay. Have a good night to you. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
Guys, have a good night.
Bye.
Good luck.